Lithia Bay's rapid growth is making some people very, very rich, and everyone else very, very tired.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
One new citizen has capital, contracts, and plans drawn up for a fishing company. He's betting that a growing coastal city will eat anything he can pull from the water. Another sees a different opening. Lithia Bay imports almost everything it needs to function. Stone, oil, minerals. If the city uses it, it probably arrived on a truck. With only a few small warehouses, the demand for storage is sky high. But for most people, growth just means their day keeps getting worse. Every trip starts with a car, a line of brake lights, and a fight for somewhere to park. Without transit, the city has become a nightmare. So today we're building out a brand new fishing industry, a large storage yard, and the first custom bus station, only to realize the demand for transit is far higher than we thought. Let's jump in. Let's start off by building our fishing industry. We already have a pretty good spot to do this, and that's right over here. Now the main reason we're doing it here and not over here is because we'd have to dredge just a little bit less to make sure the boats have clearance, and also because I want to turn this into a beach in the future, so let's not ruin it. Now before that, I'd like to somewhat fix this weird intersection. I still don't want to make it a 4-lane highway, because I just can't see the justification for that, but what I can see the justification for is turning this into a rural highway with 3 lanes, so it'll be asymmetrical. Maybe what we could say is that this is part 1 of the road expansion, and it's being brought upon by the fishing industry. Either way, let's turn off snap to zoning cell length. That way we can get directly in the middle. And we're gonna drag this all the way down here. And I'm really hoping it doesn't turn out like last time. So we'll get this right in the middle. And that is pretty much perfect. Definitely not like last time where it just destroyed the side of this mountain. Right now, I'm gonna leave the asymmetricality the way it is. And down the line, if we need to, we can adjust the direction. Now let's open up our development tree. We're gonna go to transportation, and we're gonna unlock water. And while we're here, we might as well unlock parking too. And that leaves us with 7 available points left. Now we're gonna need to do a bit of land reclamation, and I always like to do a bit of measuring first. That way I don't do something I'll regret. We're gonna use our alleyway to do this, and I think we're just gonna go out about 20 units. We'll turn constant slope and ground level on. So now we can get a sense for how much space we'll actually need. Let's open up our zoning menu, go to specialized industry, and we're gonna select the fishing and open water fish farming. We'll place that right here on this side. Looks like there's an issue with the pathfinding. All we had to do was pull it out. Now I wanna grab our storage buildings, and I think we're gonna place as many as we can up until the road. So it looks like we were able to get 2 large warehouses and then 1 small one. How much storage does that give us? Only 140 tons. In a perfect world, I think we'd have more surplus. Really the best way to tell though is to open up our production menu and see what our deficit actually is. So we have a deficit of 122 tons. And I'm thinking we don't just want to cover our current deficit. We probably want to go a bit further than that. In our production chain diagram, we can see that it's turned into convenience food and normal food. But I believe for fish, there's other uses such as fish oil or pet food, I think even cosmetics. So we can pretend that we're exporting all of our surplus to the outside world for them to process. Ideally, we would process it, but I don't think we have those types of companies yet. So now with all of that in mind, I'm just gonna say, let's aim for 300 tons of storage space. It'll all come down to how much we can actually produce. So we're gonna expand our storage space one more time. We're gonna snap to the side of this building right here, connect into this road. I'm gonna pull it all the way down for now, just so I can run a road right here in the middle, because I think I want 1 unit of separation between the buildings. In the meantime, I'm gonna connect it into this road, but I will change that after. Now let's grab our storage buildings, and we're just gonna snap them right onto the road, but I wanna do the opposite of what we did here. Now I still want to place 2 more buildings, and we're going to do that right here. Before we do, let's quickly pull out this terrain. So what I want is some sort of commercial building that we can pretend sells fish. So maybe you drive down here from the city to come pick up fish in bulk, because maybe it's cheaper. Whereas if you buy it at the grocery store, it's pretty much top dollar and you're spending way more money. So it's a lot of value just to drive all the way down here, pick up some fish, and drive back home. I want to grab a European commercial building, and this one right here is pretty much perfect. It feels like it could sell fish. It has a very industrial feeling to it. And then I feel like we have to make these blue. It just makes sense. That is pretty much perfect. And I want some sort of main head building here. Except for this time, we're going to grab an office low. And really, there is a lot of industrial feeling office buildings. I feel like I'm leaning towards this one. I'm going to move this all the way over because we need one more thing, and that is a little bit of parking. I think we're ready to add in our pier. Now, this might sound silly, but I really don't want this to be a straight 90-degree angle. I feel like that's just a bit boring, and we could probably do a little bit better than that. So if we attach onto our main pier, and then just go out at, let's say, 135-degree angle, and we'll only go at 10 units, and that's because I don't want the routes to spawn there. And now what we can do is go out, let's say 15 on each side. Now we're ready to grab our narrow boatway, and I think what I'm going to do is send this straight, and then for no other reason other than the fact that I don't know what a boatway would look like, I'm going to curve that in. We'll send it out straight a little bit more. We'll connect this one in, and we're going to do something similar with this one, but we'll curve from here. It looks like we're getting clearances too low, and that makes sense. There's not a lot of room here, so this is where we can dredge a tiny bit. And our clearance is still too low, so maybe we just have to redraw this in. And actually, it looks like we have overlapping items here, and that's what you get when you use Anarchy. And we still have overlapping items somehow, and that is, you're kidding me. It's this static ploppable. That's the only reason why we have those issues. So if I just move this all the way into this building for now, do we still get that issue? Okay, we don't. So now we're good. I guess it was just that building it didn't like. All right, now that it's all working, I think we're gonna connect into here, but we're gonna have to buy this tile first. So this tile is gonna cost us $21,000 per month and only $19,000 up front. That's pretty much nothing. So we somehow have $6 million in the bank. I feel like I'm stuck in pre-patch mindset where everything at the start was such a grind and you had to be careful with your budget like crazy. Now it doesn't even feel like we have to be careful at all. It feels like we could just spend, and there's no real consequence. And we have two types of fishing areas. I think we're going to start with the fish farming area. I'm going to have one right here, real close to home, and a second one right here as well. We'll take our narrow seaway and just slap that right across. Now let's grab our fishing area. And this time I think we're gonna go a little bit further away. So let's have one here, and then maybe just a second one right here as well. And then we'll grab our narrow seaway. So we're already losing money, negative $98 per month. I'm hoping to see a massive improvement. And I think we would get a massive improvement if I remembered to add in our lines, so let's get that done too. I'm gonna say everything on the left, we'll do our fish farming. Everything on the right, we'll do our actual fishing. And let's go and select our boats. And for each line, I'm just gonna allow every single boat. I'm not really too worried about which boats spawn. And just like that, we are already making a profit of $30,000 per month, which is great, you love to see it. Okay, and we're finally seeing a boat now. I was starting to get a bit worried because I wasn't seeing one, but we have this nice little boat right here, and we could change its color if we wanted to. A nice muted red with a dark gray. It looks pretty good to me. Our production right now is 164 tons per month, and we're making a nice little profit of $45,000. Now, if you have a name for the fishing company or the person who owns it, let me know in the comments below, and I'm happy to come make the changes. Maybe we can work them into our lore moving forward. Now, the next most important thing that I think we really need to do is add in a connection from here all the way down to here. I really think it's sorely missing, and right now our fishing industry would have no real good way to get down here. They would have to follow down this road, turn left, come down this dirt road. It gets crazy complicated for no reason. And do we actually have traffic? Yeah, we have a taxi driving up this hill at what seems like 5 miles per hour. I don't know why they're going so slow. More taxis. Oh, we actually have a truck. Where are they going? It doesn't even make sense, the routes that they're taking. This, by all means, would be a significantly faster road to take, yet for some reason they turn up here just to go down here. It makes no sense. I thought about just sending this road and continuing it down, but after looking it over, there just isn't enough room to bridge down at a reasonable height. So even if we start from right here and we slope all the way down, that gives us negative 12%, which is just a bit too crazy. So we'll have a secondary road that all of this is attached to. Now I always like to start with my bridge because I find it makes things a little bit easier. Now we'll drop our height back down to 0. And let's see, can we get 5%? That's pretty long for 5%. We don't really have much of a choice though, so we'll take it. I want to do our sloping a bit earlier, because if you were coming down this road, the last thing you want to do is have a crazy slope, and then boom, you're in the ocean and you're gone. So we'll do a little bit of sloping here, just to make things a little bit easier on the people driving. That right there gives us negative 1.8%, pretty much perfect. I couldn't ask for better. Now we're just going to come in at a 90. Now I want to make sure we're giving very nice and gentle turns here, because this will primarily be industrial and heavy freight traffic. And I think ideally we would connect into Rosecliff Lane, but it's not exactly possible. So for now, we're going to connect into this road right here. Now there's only one more thing I'd want to see, and we're going to use our asymmetrical road to achieve that. And thankfully, it looks like the road's already split up perfectly. On this side, we're going to give a turning lane to the left, but we will stop this lane right here from turning left. We only need one left lane. We're going to give them a turning lane so they can turn in nice and smooth. And I guess we could probably give one to this road as well. I really think we can trim down this elevated segment significantly. Now we're gonna have to continue our way down here, and I think we're actually gonna start from this side right here. And from what I can see is it looks like we're doing a bit of unnecessary sloping, and we're gonna fix this because it's gonna be important. And the best part about all of that is all we did is replace dirt roads, so I don't feel bad at all. If I get rid of these roads, I start to feel a little bit bad. So from here, the rest is pretty straightforward. We're gonna curve along the contour lines. We're going to stay under 5% until we meet up with this road right here. Now I had initially thought about connecting this road into this one, but this road is just on a significantly steeper plane. I don't exactly want to get rid of it, but you can imagine if you were a truck coming down this road, you have a very short time to stop before you're heading directly into the water, and there just isn't that much flexibility with the terrain here. But right here, what we can do is we can flatten this little road out right here. And again, that's to give more time to have flat space to stop. We can slope up. At a 90, we can take our road, and we'll go out a little bit just to make sure we have that flat spot. Then we'll slope up. That's 2.6%, so it's not bad at all. We're going to sever this connection. And I think we're going to have to sever this connection as well. Now we're going to take our rural highway and just continue it down. If we can, we're going to want to start sloping pretty early. So I think what we're going to do is start curving down a bit. We're going to make sure our step is set to the lowest one, because then we can click page down and we can get 3%. Now we're going to use our continuous curve tool to make a switch back. Once we get that 90, we know we're in a good place. Now our elevation is negative 6.1. So we want to increase that until we get at least 0. And we're going to have to raise the terrain just a tiny bit, but I'm fine with it. And we want this to be nice and flat, because for this curvy part, trucks are going to have to slow down significantly, and they're going to have to turn pretty hard. So it's much easier to make this turn if it's nice and flat. Now from here, I think we actually might be able to just get a nice connection in. Let's turn snap the guidelines on. And that right there gives us negative 2.1%. And that is just definitely not it. Let's try this again. Now I'm wondering what our slope is from here down to here. Negative 4.5%. It's not great, but it's not bad either. You'd have tons of time to see the hill, tons of time to slow down. We're not curving, especially as we get towards this highway. Now we have 2 connections that we need to add back in. And then for this one, it's going to be a bit more tricky. For now, I'm going to start by following the contour lines. I don't really worry too much about these roads. There isn't any heavy freight traffic going down here. Now with all of these connections in, I'm ready to move on to our custom storage yard, but I also want to add recycling. There's a few things about a recycling center. The ground pollution is medium, the air pollution is low, and the noise pollution is also medium. So we want to have this somewhat far away from our residential and with other noisy uses. Now, one of the best places I can think that kind of fulfills all of those requirements is pretty much right here. It's already noisy because the train and the industrial, we don't need to worry about pollution, and the air blows that way. So this is pretty much the optimal spot, and it looks like we're having a tornado. Okay, so it's all the way over there, not a big deal. Now there is one trade-off with this area, and that's the connections. There's only really the connection here and here, and I guess if you can count these ones, I don't really expect the recycling trucks to drive on dirt roads. So before we get this in, let's actually make a few upgrades. I don't want to place it directly on the road. I actually want it to front the train tracks, and we also need to make sure we're giving enough room away from the bridge to make our connection. This also gives us just enough room to add a little fence back here. Looking at the terrain, it's concerning me a bit, but it doesn't seem as bad as I thought it would be. Yeah, okay, wait, we got some problems. Yeah, that's definitely concerning. And that's way more flat. And also at the same time, that unlocks milestone 9. We are now a great town. We get a bunch of signature buildings. And we also get high density commercial. Nice. I am actually really excited for that. Now, like I was saying before, we're going to snap onto the sides of this building. Now for our upgrades, I don't want to add the storage extension, and I don't want to add the hazardous waste collection point, mostly just because I don't know if we actually need these yet, but I will add the garbage truck depot, just to make sure we have as many vehicles going out as possible. Now we're going to take our alley, and we're going to curve along with these train tracks until we get to this point right here, which is when we'll go under and connect into this road. Now right here is where we're going to make our custom storage yard. And similar to our recycling center, we're going to need to flatten most of this out. So now we have a few different storage buildings that we can work from. So we have this small storage yard, the medium storage yard, and the large storage yard. I think for a city like ours, we could probably get away with 2 large storage yards. I don't think we'd need more than that. Now I definitely don't want to dump any more traffic onto this highway. It already has a recycling center, all of our industrial, our fishing, and all the people deciding to take a shortcut for no reason. I'm going to want to keep it off this road, and we'll have the entrance be from this road right here. They store pretty much everything except for oil, so if we just grab the biggest industrial storage for oil, I feel like we should be able to add a few of these in. Now the question is, do they actually fill in? Okay, 2 of them filled in. I can take 2 filling in. That's pretty good. That's better than none. If we need more, we're definitely going to add more. For now, this will do. Last but not least, I want to get a bus station in, but specifically, I want to get one in near a train station. Not only does it make a lot of sense because, it's our train station and there'd be amazing transfer opportunities, but also because this is where a large section of our low rent is concentrated. And I feel like it'd be extremely important to make sure that these people have great access to transit. The only challenge is there's pretty much no space. We're not removing any of our density. We're definitely not removing the signature building. We're not removing any of our row homes. I think some very bad things would happen to the mayor of this city if they approved the memorial getting taken down. Even then, we could just take down this park, but there really isn't that much room to add a decent bus station in, so this doesn't leave too many options. The next best spot I can think of would probably be right here, or right here. This plot of land just gives us barely a little bit more room than this park, but it's still a little bit more feasible to expand if we need to in the future. Given our population, I really don't imagine we're going to have that much demand for transit. We do have a little bit more density alongside here, and we also have our 2 offices. And these are fairly new and modern offices, so I think I kind of have to go with this plot right here. And we're going to need to get a bus depot in first, and we're going to keep this fairly far away from the city. I think if we can get it to send buses down this road right here, we've got something decent going on. Now we need to figure out which way we want our bus station to front. I think I want it to front Hamilton Street, mostly because it'll give us the most opportunity for our buses to come in, out, and then they can spread out from all the different directions. And wow, just look at our traffic, it's getting crazy. All right, now we're gonna keep this fairly straightforward. We're gonna grab our bus lane from right here, and we're gonna go at roughly a 70-degree angle. Now we're just gonna send this directly down, and then back in. And now we just need to make a few more of these roads right here. We're going to drag this all the way down to this road right here. And now we can get rid of all these little end pieces and this middle piece. And now what this gives us is the ability for buses to turn into this road. And there was just a dog. What is going on? Where is this dog going? Why is there just 3 dogs stuck inside of each other? It was so jarring. It really distracted me. Where are they going? Destination. They're going to a beverage store? What are they gonna do over here? And why are they going the wrong way? I am so confused on what those dogs were doing. Okay, I'm sorry for that. Anyways, so now our buses can come up. If they're in any one of these lanes, they can turn left right here, then turn right, and they immediately have stops. And then they can just flip back around. And all of this is a pretty standard custom bus station. Now we're gonna add in some bus stops, and we're gonna try and get just a little bit past the middle. Now they've all got some really janky positioning. All we have to do is just pull them over a tiny bit. And to make sure these work, all we have to do is click on any single one. And as long as we can see that routing, we know we're in a good spot. And that's pretty much perfect. All of them work. Now I need to add a way for pedestrians to actually get in here. I typically have bad luck with paths, so I'm really hoping I don't. Okay, that actually came out really nicely. Usually what I see is something kind of like that right there. If I can get all of them like this, that's the dream. It was either that or we use invisible paths. And that is beyond surprising. They all came out perfect. Now I want to use a custom surface here, and I want to get that surface all around the outside. And that's because I want this to be a place where you can also hang out. Maybe you can walk around and do something. So we're going to use our bucket tool, and we should just be able to snap to pretty much everything. I think for the insides, we're just going to have a really manicured grass. We won't have electric buses yet, so anything to really just brighten this area up, make it feel less polluted. Now I also want to see people walk down this, so we're going to use our invisible paths and just connect in pretty much all over. There we go. I love seeing people walk on these surfaces because it makes it feel like it's actually a space. Now we have 5 stops to make routes for. Let's go with our easiest one, and we'll go to our outside connection. For some reason it's called Carphilly. That should be Ashland, so we'll have to change that. We'll call this line 1, station to Ashland. We don't need 9 buses. I can't imagine needing that many. And we want transit to be accessible, but considering this is going to an external connection, it won't be as cheap as our other lines. We'll set this one to $4, and we'll make it red because if you're leaving, that's bad. For our second line, we're gonna have it start from here. It'll immediately leave, go all the way down this road, make a stop in front of these houses, and we'll make some stops in front of the high density. We'll keep swinging around. We'll continue down here, and then we're gonna make a nice little loop. That way we can come back and serve both directions. And we're gonna try and make stops the same places we made stops before. Now when it comes back in, ideally we want all of them to come from one of these roads, but the only way to make that work is to make them travel just a bit further, which I guess is what we're gonna do. And then they'll come back to here. And for the second line, let's call it Station to Pinewood Acres. And these names will change very soon. I'm waiting for all of the comments to fill out, and then I'll run a poll on YouTube. Again, we want transit to be accessible, so $2. And I think we're gonna go with 2 vehicles to start. We really need to measure how much demand is gonna be for each line. And because this one goes to our water, we'll make it blue. I think what I really want is a line that goes up both of these 4-lane roads, turns around, and then comes back down, and just goes right back into the bus station. We'll call this line 3, Station to Sun. All of our internal city routes will be $2. And again, we're gonna go with 2 vehicles for now. And we actually will keep the color orange because the sun. I guess we could go yellow if we really want the sun. Now I would say in terms of density, that's pretty much all of our routes covered. There's not really any more super dense buildings outside of our current lines. So now I'm trying to think about the shops. We have a lot of shops down on this road. We also have our farms, and we have our industrial. So we'll have a line that goes down to this area, and we'll have a line that goes down to our industrial. Now looking at this, I feel like the coverage is pretty solid. We can get people to jobs, we can get people to shops, we can get people to our high density, and we have transfer opportunities. All of this seems like pretty much solid to me. So let's add in our stops now. And we're gonna start with line 2, Station to Pinewood Acres. Our first stop, right in front of these buildings. We'll have one more stop right near our high density. And on the other side, it will also have one more stop. And this is mostly just low residential. So we'll have one stop here. And our next stop will be here. That way the stop isn't directly in front of someone's property. We'll make one stop right here. And I'm not liking how big this bus lane is. We're gonna break the node. And then this is a 4-lane with a median. And I believe this is a direct copy of this road. So if we upgrade it and then delete this little road, we should be able to keep this section. Okay, and it wasn't a direct copy of this road, which means we need this one right here. It's the exact same road, it just has a different name. And I use them exactly for this purpose. Now we're gonna upgrade this to our 4-lane boulevard without the 3.6U in the name. And now when we delete this road, our bus segment isn't as long. But now that I'm actually looking at this and thinking about it, this is a fire station. A bus stopping right here would not be very safe. What was I thinking with this? Okay, now we have line 3, Station to Sun. And that is station to sun done. Now we have line 4, which I forgot to name. Not surprising. This is really going to start to get confusing for me. I'm going to call this line 4 station to Sunnydale. Now this one goes all the way down here, and we're going to make a stop right in front of this high density. I really want to try to avoid any stops in front of houses, but given that this is kind of essential for our transfer to work, we're going to have a stop right here. That's line 4 done. Now last but not least, we have line 5, and this one's going to be pretty straightforward. So I think at most, we will actually pick up a few people from this area, mostly because we don't have a line that covers directly in front of it. We'll place our first bus stop there, and we'll move it off to the side, and we'll have to monitor traffic for this one because it's kind of the most important road right now for this area. And that's it. That's the only stop we're going to have, just one. And that is all of our lines done. Now I'm pretty much ready to click play, and for fun, I'm going to wager that line 2 is going to have the heaviest usage, and because Lithia Bay is so great, line 1 will have the least usage. I went through and added a bunch of buses. This one ended up with 7. Just about 2 minutes ago, it was at like 150% usage. This one was crazy busy at the start, but it seems to have calmed down significantly. Now we're only seeing 6%. That's probably just because time of day though. This one's 74%. Again, we increased the vehicles by 2. Line 4, we increased it to 4. It was pretty crazy as well. And then surprise, surprise, the industrial line did the worst. Now I've went through and made a few adjustments. I stretched out the nodes here, added in some asymmetrical roads alongside here and here. There's a bit of work that needs to be done. What is this car doing here? I'd love to know. I would love to, honestly, goodbye. What's your name? Dylan Tucker. Now Dylan's name is I drive cars on bus roads. I'm going to add him to my followed list because right now he's happy and I want to figure out how to ruin this life. No, in all seriousness though, I'm quite happy with how it turned out. There's clearly a few issues that I think I'm going to fix next time. This is just a result of how many buses we had to add on to the line and the amount of pedestrians that we have just walking across the street. One of the easiest solutions could be a pedestrian overpass. The easier solution would be to get all of this aligned and in the right place. If Pinewood's going to have 0% line usage, then maybe we drop this down to 5 vehicles because we won't need all of it. Although this will probably skyrocket once it gets to 12-ish PM. One of the biggest pieces of feedback I got last episode was that we needed parking, and I completely agree. We have all of this high density, and a lot of these buildings do have parking garages in the back. Some of them don't, but most of them do. But really, the biggest issue comes down to these buildings on the pedestrian road. I'm trying to pretend that we don't have cars driving down this road because this would be a pedestrian road, nothing else. So if I actually want to pretend that, then I need to give adequate parking. Right here, looks like a massive opportunity to get rid of all of this low residential. We're going to take this multi-level parking building, and unfortunately their property value is about to decrease very significantly. I honestly feel really, really bad. We could always just use the Netherlands assets, but I think that kind of takes away some of the fun. There was this great comment on screen right now about how the parking could be a very big contrast to how manicured the downtown and really Lithia Bay is in general. So although this is gonna hurt, I'm gonna do it. We'll add in one right there. And then I just wanna see some more basic parking. This right here works for me. So altogether, we have 300 spots. Now, if we want to get even extra crazy, we could add a bit more parking here too. That's going to be the parking. Now with all of that, let's jump into detailing. And I really love how this bus station came out. Let's jump into a quick before and after. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. I really do hope you enjoyed. Huge thanks to all of our amazing Patreon and YouTube members, Jake Hill, Gary Key, Deku, Ganger, Griffin, The Alpha Supreme, Javante Mormon, Mihai B, Canyon Tiger, Jay Stokes, Middleveen, Vansky, Just a Random American, Bryce Shaddix. I can't thank everyone enough. If you want to support the channel, get sneak peeks, or explore the saves for yourself, you can join us over on Patreon or YouTube. If you haven't already, a like, comment, and subscription go a really long way. And other than that, I'll see you in the next one.